Hello again, my beautiful sea creatures. It is me, Casey. We are on part 2 of Yandere Morichiro. I cannot say his name, so I'm going to keep calling him Moo, okay? You were talking to Moo about how you and Shinobu are going to go on a mission later. Moo was excited and ecstatic because this would be your first mission. We're going to be fighting a lower moon, Moo says. And the only reason he knows is because beforehand, he went to that mountain and talked to that demon, saying, if you don't go easy on her, I will end up killing you myself before she can even get here. Meaning Morichiro has somebody there, just in case when Moo leaves, the demon says, oh, I'm not going to go easy on her. I'm going to rip her apart. So, Moo was excited. Very excited. Now, he wanted to go with you, but he had to go on his own mission. So you both went your separate ways. Shinobu and you were talking on the way there. Shinobu was kind of worried because the person she liked was also going to be there. Everybody already knows who Shinobu likes. Giyu. Giyu doesn't know that. You, Shinobu, and Mitsuri are the only ones that know that. Mitsuri knows that she has to keep her mouth shut or Shinobu is going to kill her. You, on the other hand, both were equally speed. Both had the same, poison. And both of you guys are basically siblings to each other, but not at the same time. So basically, you didn't want to hurt her. She didn't want to hurt you if you told you. So you guys were just basically talking. You guys came across the one and only Spider Demon Rui. You looked at Rui and was personally terrified because you never fought a lower moon and you were pretty sure he was very strong because to command all these demons in this forest, he would have to be very strong. So he was very much so intimidating. You put down your bag somewhere safe. Shinobu ended up saying, Yin, you can take care of this. I have to go look for somebody. I had to look for Giyu. You tease Shinobu just a little bit, saying, what, you gonna go tell him how you feel? Shinobu ends up smacking him in the back of the head and saying, shut up, leave me alone, and ended up started running away. You looked at Rui and said, now, back to you. I'm going to be able to take you down, I'm pretty sure. Rui looks at you and says, no, you're really not. I'll kill you before you can even do anything. Rui still remembers what Moo told his father, thinking that his father is the one that is the upper moon. Not the upper moon, the lower moon. I will kill you without any hesitation. You look at your bag and whistle, seeing your cat's ear poke out. You whisper/yell, you guys need to get out of here, quick, because I feel like this might turn into an actual battle. instead of me and him fighting in the air. Moose sees that you were talking to somebody in the bag. He looks at you and says, "Who are you talking to?" You say, "None of your business." Rui looks at you and points to the bag, and then three strings pop out from behind Rui and grab the bag. You try grabbing it, but it's too late. Rui has it in his hand and says, "Wow, you were carrying around this heavy bag. I wonder what's in it." He pulls out a little girl. She starts screaming and yelling, "Put me down, put me down, put me down!" The cat next to her yelled, "Hey, put her down!" and tried to bite Rui, but it ended up hurting their teeth. Rui looks at you and says, "Your instinct was to protect your what, sibling?" Rui says, and you look at him and say, "She's not my sibling. She is my child." Rui looks at you and says in his head, "She looks too young to be a mother." "How old are you?" Rui says out loud. You say, "I'm only 15. And how old is this child?" "She's 5. So you're telling me you got pregnant at 10? You look at Rui and say, "Ew, no! That was from my aunt. My aunt got pregnant, but didn't want her child. So I ended up having to take care of her child, and I ended up becoming its mom." Rui looks at you and says, "So, you're its mom now, huh? Wouldn't you like to see your child grow up?" You take a step back and said, "I would like to see my beautiful girl grow up, but I would also like to see her grow up and see me in the afterlife, just to know who took care of her." You said no to Rui. "I am not turning myself into a demon just so I can see my child grow. I want for my child to know I love her, and I would never turn her into a demon, and she wouldn't be able to go into the sunlight. I would never do that to her." Rui looks at you and says, "Oh, let's see about that." Rui almost stabs her, but then from behind, Shinobu comes out and slices off Rui's head, throwing you your baby girl, Molly. You held Molly in your hand. "Molly, thank God you're safe. Why didn't you run when I told you guys to?" The cat jumps down and says, "We weren't fast enough." "It's okay. Don't worry." You ended up having to give your little child, Molly, a knife. It's a nurturing knife. Don't worry. You ended up looking at Shinobu and Shinobu says, "Don't worry, he's dying slowly, but he'll still be dead soon. I hope." Rui just attaches his head back on and looks at Shinobu and says, "That's not gonna work." And Rui ends up running away to go tell his mother to fight for him. Shinobu looks at you and says, "Hi again. Yeah, so we need to go find Gyu. I could not find him. Lion, could you possibly help me? I know you're good at finding people." You look at her and say, "Fine. Molly, come on, let's go." You guys end up walking for a little while, finding Zenitsu on the way and giving him medicine to fix himself up. Then you end up finding Gyu. Gyu is in the middle of killing Rui, and Shinobu looks at him and says, "Gyu, there you are." Then she sees Tanjiro with his sister Nezuko, and she tries to kill Nezuko. And Gyu steps between them and says, "No, Shinobu, do not kill him. Do not kill Nezuko." Ends up having to pin her down. And then you say from behind, "Gyu, are you protecting a demon? That's against core rules." Gyu looks at you and says, "I know it's against core rules, but this demon has been proven to be a good help and has never eaten a demon." Then Tanjiro says, "Nezuko's not a demon. She's a human being." Shinobu looks at Tanjiro and says, "Oh, poor child. You don't know, do you? Your sister's a demon." Tanjiro looks at her and says, "I know, but she has humanity. That's why I'm saying that she's human." Shinobu says, "Fine. Yen, give her a quick and painless death then." I say, "Of course." I try to attack. Not I. You try to attack Tanjiro to get Nezuko. And then Tanjiro basically deflects your attack and tells Nezuko to run. And then a crow from above, Shinobu's crow, exactly, says, "Please bring back Nezuko and Tanjiro, and bring back their associates. Gyu too, bring back all three." You end up tackling Tanjiro and putting sleeping poison and putting him to sleep. Nezuko runs off. You don't know where Nezuko is until Shinobu says, "Oh, don't worry, Kanal will get her." Kanal finds Nezuko and ends up simply putting her in the box and catching her. You guys end up bringing them to the mansion. That's all the details for now. I'll give you more tomorrow. I'm going to do a Vox one today too because I had to do 2 videos.